So here's the big question. How are entrepreneurs like us, who have been hustling and struggling to make it to success, who seem to make it one step forward only to fall two steps back, who are dedicated, determined, and driven, how do we finally break through and win? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Brian Kelly, and this is the Mind, Body, Business Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mind, Body, Business Show. I know I say this every show when we open up, but I am super excited tonight because of our guest that is coming on, Lynda Bachman. She is an amazing businesswoman. I cannot wait to share her brilliance with you. And she's going to come on really soon. She's chomping at the bit in the green room, ready to jump in here. The Mind, Body, Business Show. It is a show that we've put together with you in mind, the entrepreneur. It's a show for entrepreneurs by entrepreneurs. And my mission for this show is simply to bring on super successful entrepreneurs like Lynda, who then reveal their quote unquote secrets on how they became successful themselves, so that you don't need to guess anymore. You can simply model their success. Of course, model is a fancy word for copy. And, you know, being an astute person, when you were going through elementary school, you were told never to copy anyone, weren't you? Well, that's why we call it modeling now, because you have the express permission to copy, to model anything you hear on this show, because that's why we're here, to help you. That is the whole purpose of this show. And it's very exciting to have someone like Lynda come on, because this is a woman who the word serve is basically her middle name. She is an amazing person, and I can't wait to share her with you. So let's get a little bit into it. The Mind, Body, Business Show. So the three pillars of success is what it's built on. And those three pillars are part of the very name of this show. So mind being mindset. And what does that mean? People that I had studied for about a decade, only successful people that I studied for about a decade, they had these three traits. One was mind. And what that meant was they have a powerful, yet more importantly, very flexible mindset. It's the foundation of either your success or lack thereof. And then there's body. To a person, each and every one of these highly successful individuals took care of themselves physically, literally physically, by exercising and by good nutrition habits. And then business. I love to say business is just so multifaceted. It involves basically the mastering of some incredible skill sets. Skill sets like sales, marketing, team building, leadership, systematizing. I mean, I could go on and on and on. And also, being an astute person watching this or listening to this on podcast, you understand and recognize that to master any one thing can take a long time. You know, to be an expert in anything takes, on the average, I think it's 10,000 hours of actual focused effort in that area. Well, here's the thing. The good news is you do not personally have to master every single skill set I just mentioned. It's true. In fact, you only need to master just one. Just one. And it actually was, let me think. Yes, I did mention it as one of those that I just read off or spoke out. I'm not reading a thing. It's one skill set. If you master that one, then the rest will fall into play. If you'd like to know what that is, just leave a comment, drop it. I'll tell you regardless. That one skill set is the skill set of, are you ready? Leadership. When you have mastered the skill set of leadership, now you have the ability, the skills to bring in those people who have mastered the skill sets that you have yet to, or probably never will, master yourself. And now you can build a team given the skill set of leadership. It's an amazing thing. Even if you are just a company of one, that is you, yourself, and you. It's like me, myself, and I couldn't figure out how to say that right. Still master the skill set of leading yourself. And then when you bring in a new team member, you will start with your feet running, hitting the ground running. And so that is it. That is the Mind, Body, Business Show in a nutshell. And one of the other great attributes of highly successful people is that to a person, each and every one of them I found were very avid readers of books. And with that, I want to segue very quickly and very shortly to a segment I affectionately call bookmarks.
Bookmarks. Born to read. Bookmarks. Ready, steady, read. Bookmarks. Brought to you by reachyourpeaklibrary.com.
There you see, reachyourpeaklibrary.com. And yes, Lynda Bachman is ready. She's coming on in just a couple of minutes. Sit tight. We're going to have a lot of fun here tonight. Reachyourpeaklibrary.com. That is a website that I had built with you in mind. I know it may sound a little cheesy, but I am being honest. It is basically a compilation of books that I have personally read and I vet. And the reason I put this together was only the books that had a profound impact on me, either in business or in my personal life, or even in both. Only those books are on this list. So in other words, not every book I've ever read is in here. This gives you a filtered list. It gives you the ability to pick a book that you can feel pretty comfortable that will have some kind of positive impact on your life. I can't promise it'll have the same it did on mine. We're all different, but at least your odds of wasting time are greatly diminished if you were to pull a book from this list. That's why I put it here. There's no rhyme or reason to the order they're in there. So scroll through them, read them, and just grab the first one that jumps off the page to you and just read it. I prefer Audible. I listen to books, and that is the whole purpose of this website. And another quick word of advice. As we go through tonight, you're going to hear about resources. I know Lynda has quite a few, like websites and tools and books and things like that. Rather than succumb to that itch to go click away and go look at these resources while the show is going or while you're listening to it, instead, I implore of you, rather than do that, to write these things down. So on your notepad, write reachyourpeaklibrary.com. Then when the show's over, go back and visit each of those resources at your leisure. The reason is this. I've done many speaking engagements from stage, and I'm up on stage and I'm about to deliver what I know is the juice. And I see someone get up and go out to the restroom, knowing I know that they're going to miss probably the greatest tip that might, I don't know for sure, that might change their life forever. I would hate for that to happen to you because you've taken your gaze and your attention away from Lynda and her genius. So that's why I wanted to bring that up. All right, let's move forward. Speaking of Lynda, this is it. It's time. What do you say? Let's bring her on right now, shall we? Yes, here she comes.
It's time for the Guest Expert Spotlight. Savvy, skillful, professional, adept, trained, big league, qualified.
And there she is, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it is the one, the only Lynda Bachman. Yes.
Hi,
welcome
Brian.
to the show. How are you doing, Lynda?
I'm doing great. Thank you. I like the big league. That's awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely. And every word was true about you for sure. In the short time I've known you, my goodness, you're an amazing woman, amazing entrepreneur, amazing business person, mom, you name it. You run the gamut of amazing. And I can't wait to really extract the genius and brilliance from that big, beautiful brain of yours. Before we jump into it, a little bit of housekeeping is in order first, if you don't mind. The Big Insider Secrets, you see that nice red and white logo on the upper right of your screen if you're watching on live video or recorded video. If you're listening, it's called thebiginsidersecrets.com. They sponsor this show. And because of this, they allow us to give away every single show a 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort. And that will be given away to one lucky viewer who watches live to the end. We will divulge how you can enter to win near the end of the show. So stay with us. Don't just run off and then say, I'll come back when it's time. No, you want to listen to Lynda. She is the value of this show, but you don't want to miss out on the vacation. Trust me. And a couple more quick ones and we'll get diving deep with Lynda. I promise. So if you're struggling with putting a live show together and it's overwhelming and you want a lot of the processes done for you while still enabling you to put on a high quality show and connect with great people like Lynda Bachman and grow your business all at the same time, then head on over to carpetbombmarketing.com. Carpet Bomb Marketing, saturate the marketplace with your message. And one of the key components that is contained in the Carpet Bomb Marketing program is one that you'll learn how to absolutely master. It's the very service we're using right now to stream this live show on the Mind Body Business Show. And over the course of the past, 10 years now, we have tried many of these different TV studio solutions for live streaming. And I'll tell you, StreamYard is really the best of the best. It combines supreme ease of use along with unmatched functionality. And so you can start streaming high quality, professional looking live shows for free with StreamYard right now. So don't go to this website, write this down. It is ryp.im/stream live altogether, all lowercase, as you can see if you're watching this on the screen. If you're listening, I'll repeat it one more time. It's ryp.im/stream live, and go ahead and get your free account. Start streaming high quality professional shows right away. And back to, finally, the woman of the hour. Yes, there she is once again. The ever so beautiful Lynda Bachman. You are amazing. I cannot wait. I'm gonna give you that introduction that you deserve, and I'm finally gonna shut my trap and let you do the talking. Does that sound good? Sure. Having gone through so many situations in life, good, bad, more bad, Lynda realized at a young age that being a victim is not going to help you in any way. The cards were all dealt. The cards were all dealt that they were exactly that. What we do with them impacts our success and happiness in the game of life. And she is a competitive, this is great. She is a competitive stand-up paddleboard racer, and her inner competitive nature carries into her business. I see this very common with a lot of successful people. They have a competitive edge. She does not like to fall and will not fail for her clients. Lynda uses her life experiences to make her stronger and use her strength to coach as many people as possible and to find their strength and their best self moving forward. She calls it the power of choice. Now, finally, officially and formally, welcome to the show, Lynda Bachman.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Yes, and we're just going to have so much fun. And yes, for those of you watching live, shoot the comments in, ask questions. We will bring those up on the screen and address those during the show. We love interaction. Lynda, what I wanted to do, and I love to start off most of the shows this way, is because it's my firm belief that mind, the first word of the show, is the foundation, the cornerstone of our either success or lack thereof, as I pointed out in the beginning. And what I like to do is go deep. And what I wanted to do is peel away the outer layers of that big, beautiful brain of yours and find out what's going on in there, especially when you're getting up every day, facing arduous task after arduous task, because let's face it, entrepreneurship is not easy and it's not for everyone. But when you know that you have things that are coming up, setbacks that are going to be hitting you, but there's something going on in your brain because you are successful that makes you different. What is going on in your brain? What is motivating you? What's driving you to say, you know what, I've got this, and I'm just going to crush it and take it one step at a time, but you do it with such a passion and a fervor. What is that? What is going on in your brain when you get up each and every morning about to tackle the day with all that in front of you?
What's the choice? What's my choice? That's what I ask myself. So for me, I have a choice to push hard and make something, right? Great. Or sit back and do nothing. So why would I choose the latter of the two choices? And that's my drive, right? Through life, I know we spoke, I've been through a lot. Every rock bottom that I hit, every bump in the road, if you really look at your rock bottoms and you don't fall victim to them, there's a gemstone in there. And if you find that gemstone, it'll push you forward.
I love the analogy to rocks and gems. That's phenomenal. Yeah, and we had this chat. Was it yesterday? I don't know. We've been chatting a bit of late, and I was telling you this before we got on live. I love talking to you. You have so much to give and so much to offer. You're so amazing, and you are very intelligent, and you're a joy to talk to. But we're talking about choice, right? And the fact that you can either let your circumstances control your attitude, or you can let your attitude dictate your circumstances. And the point of that is what you just said, Lynda, is choice. We all choose how to react. We are every one of us, all of us humans are going to have those circumstances. And those are those things that can knock us back. Every one of us. There is nobody that has not been through that hard times in some way, shape, or form. the whole thing, the difference between successful people and those who have not yet achieved success is typically their reaction and choice they made and how they react to those circumstances. Does that ring true with you? Do you find that as well?
100%. I always tell my clients, I challenge them to wake up one day at a time and focus on what they have, not on what they don't, and watch the difference. Because we all wake up and instinctive nature tells us this is going wrong. This is going wrong. I don't have this. I can't do this. Right. But try switching the mindset and switching your gears to a new thought process and watch how your life evolves.
I love it. Oh, we're getting some positive vibes. Demish has just given us a nice big happy face. Thank you, Demish. That brightens everything up. And then Skip Bailey says, Lynda is such a great inspirational partner coach. And I had the fortune of getting to meet Skip over the phone very briefly just a few days ago because of Lynda. So I gotta point this out to everyone watching and listening. You know, Lynda is one of those rare individuals that she doesn't care if her efforts, well, she cares, but it's not on the forefront of her mind that if her efforts are going to result in making money. She is more about helping people first. And then, hey, if money comes as a result, then it comes as a result. I think that is one of the reasons, Lynda, you are so successful, because of your heart, your servant attitude. It's authentic. There's so much integrity. It's in my opinion, the right way to go about business and life is to give without expecting anything in return. And I can tell that's what you do. And that is why, in my humble opinion, you are so successful. I mean, you're bringing on clients left and right. And I am not surprised in the least by that. And what do you think about that whole concept of, you know, what would you like to say to those who are out there trying to just make that next buck, and some at greater cost than you and I would consider going after? I mean, maybe your reputation, maybe you're selling a product that you're not in alignment with, but it makes you money, so you're okay with doing it. What is your thought process? What would you say to that person that may be going down that path?
Dig deeper and find something within you that makes you drive. That's your passion to want to sell what you're selling or help somebody out, and take a different approach. Because if you're doing it for you, chances are you're not going to get very far.
I love it. And so, see, I was doing this on purpose because you're hearing the coach at this very moment. And she's phenomenal at it. I think we got a competition going on. Paige Spears has said, hey, Demish Frazier, I got a smiley face and a couple of stars for you. So here we go. The gloves have come off. We got a competition. I love it. And I know it's friendly because Paige is often on the show watching and listening. Thanks for coming on, Paige. I appreciate you for doing that and for commenting. And yeah, I love interaction. And it's all about relationships. And, you know, in the early going, Lynda, I'm an automation freak. I love automation. I was a software engineer by trade. And I just realized, my gosh, you can do so much. If you just program it once, it'll just repeat the same thing successfully over and over and over, no human error. And all I ever wanted to do, Lynda, was build a massive list, shoot out a bunch of emails, and just sit back and rake it in without having to lift up a phone or these days, turn on Zoom and get the camera going. And I learned the hard way, the real hard way, after years of thinking I can crack this, that when the rubber meets the road, it really comes down to spending the time one-on-one building relationships. Have you found that to be true in your case as well?
100%, 150%. I feel like when you can connect with somebody and they can trust you, respect you, like you, and know where your heart is, that's when they're going to work with you.
Yeah, it's the old know, like, trust mantra, right? And it's true. And, you know, you are very authentic about doing it. And there are those that will just try whatever it takes to get somebody to know, like, and trust them. Sometimes even be fake about it because maybe they're not all that great of a person under the hood. You know, they're not always looking out for someone else's best interest because maybe they're in scarcity mode. We've all been there. I've been there where you need money and you're less apt to have that pristine attitude going forward. And it's hard. It's difficult to break out of that and say, you know what, I want to do the right thing. I know I'm going to do the right thing, but my gosh, I got to make money now. Is there any kind of secret sauce that helps people to overcome that quicker so they can become their authentic selves and start living their passion sooner rather than later that you're aware of, Lynda?
if you think about the mistakes you made, right? If you evaluated that when you made your first mistake of not making connections and not making relationships. So when you did that, you realized I'm going to get more business by creating relationships, right? So you did that by keeping track, right? I've made mistakes, many mistakes, especially in my business, right? We all do. And when you try too hard, or you're not authentic, or you chase something that's, that you feel like you need, you tend to not get what you need. And if you really keep track of it, whether it's weekly, monthly, quarterly, you'll be able to pinpoint your mistakes, and then you become more authentic.
You never cease to impress me and amaze me. And one of the things I want to bring up is that, if you don't mind, is that you have not been in a quote unquote entrepreneurial position for all that long yet you have achieved incredible success in that short period. It's just over a year, if that's correct, if I'm close.
Year and a half.
Year and a half. And I remember asking you, how did your first year go? And you said, well, I don't know if this is very good or not. And you were absolutely like honest. I don't know if this is very good or not, but my first year I did 100K and my jaw didn't come off the floor for about 5 minutes. I don't know if that's very good. I mean, I don't know of anybody who wouldn't give a lot to get that in their first 5 years, let alone their first year. And so I knew there was something, you had figured something out that a lot of people hadn't. And there's many things that you figured out. You talk so eloquently like a very seasoned entrepreneur. You've been putting in the time while you were doing full-time jobs and other things in the past. It's very obvious, and it's paid off huge for you. So for those that are just starting out in the entrepreneurial field, what kind of advice would you give them to say, it takes some time to get going, but with you had the fast track, you figured something out. If there were like 3 pieces of advice you could give somebody, 3 key points to say, well, I would do this, and this, and focus on it and continue to do that until you get to the next stage. If you can think of those 3, and I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but what would those be?
So first I'd ask yourself how bad you want it. So, and I probably said that to you because having made so many mistakes and hitting so many of my own rock bottoms, right? I kind of was in a position where I lost everything and I was rebuilding my life. So when you want it bad enough, you're going to work hard for it, and it's not going to be handed to you. So I would say, how bad do you want it? If you want it bad, the first thing I would say is your work ethic. You have to have the drive to work hard and chase your dream. And then I would say you have to have the ability to readjust or pivot when things get tough or think you hit a wall or an obstacle. And of course, there's organization. You have to have organization.
I'm writing this down because
okay.
I don't tell anyone else to do anything that I wouldn't myself do. And it's sloppy as heck, but I just want to show people that, I practice what I preach. I try to do that at all times, as much as possible. I have notes. You have oh my gosh, I have a stack. I'm not going to pull them out. They're like this thick in paper from my past shows. And then I got this incredible thing called Remarkable, and everything's electronically in here. And there's a lot of shows in here too. This is sheer gold, having these notes. And that's what I implore of everyone, especially on this show, of all shows. If you're not taking notes, please do yourself a favor. Please do yourself a favor. Grab something to write on, whether it's a notepad, notepad on PC, and you type it in, whether it's Word, whether it's something on a Mac, or it's physical paper, which is the best. Please take notes, especially on tonight's show, but in all shows or seminars or anything that has to do with business where you know someone that's in there that has achieved success, a level of success that you aspire to achieve yourself, always take notes. Something I learned from my mentor, he said he had just like shelves of notebooks, and he said, I would not give those away or sell them for any amount of money because they were worth that much to him. And when you write things down, as you know, Lynda, it goes deeper in here and your retention is better. And especially if you write it with pencil or pen. So what are your thoughts on that?
You see what I was trying to say real quick is never say you can't, right? Anyone can do it, no matter where you are in your life. If you want something and you have a heart full of determination, you'll get there. It doesn't matter how old you are or how how low you are in your life at that point or how high you are in your life at that point. Anyone can do it.
It's so true. And so what is the key then? So, and I agree with you totally. What is one of the key factors then of if you're just starting, and let's say you're a little more advanced in age? I started around 47 or so, really getting serious about entrepreneurship. And I know what worked for me, what finally and ultimately worked for me that got me there faster. But I'm curious, what was the one key element that helped you to really kick your business in the butt, so to speak, and get it moving?
Okay, good question. I never even thought about it when I went to training and I was like, this is what I'm going to do now. I didn't think, how am I going to get clients? Right? That wasn't even a thought. I did have the thought, who's going to hire a life coach, right? If they have insurance to pay for a therapist, not realizing there's such a huge difference between the two, right? Moving forward, moving backwards, they're both beneficial. But so I just did a lot of research and I found a lot of websites and a lot of apps and places you can actually go and get live leads for people out there who need life coaching, business coaching, relationship coaching. And that has been a godsend for me, for my business.
Fantastic. Yeah. And it's funny, not funny, it's interesting. People have different stories of how they kind of catapulted and got going quicker than others. As a comparison, for me personally, it was finding a mentor. And it was like the mentor found me. I think I went to a seminar and he was not the main speaker. He was a guest speaker. And it was interesting, really interesting, younger than me by a lot, 18 years or so. He could literally be my son by age. I just remember seeing him walk down the middle of the aisle when he got introduced. He hadn't opened his mouth, he hadn't said a word. He's just walking. And I'm sitting near the front. And I thought, I like this kid. There's something about him. I don't know what it is. And he became a lifelong friend, my mentor. I ended up being his lead trainer for his seminar company for several years. Got to speak from stage and learned the ins and outs of the seminar industry from him. And it was having a mentor. And you just said, did the research. And that is in itself like having mentors when you're reading and doing research of those who have been successful before you. So that's why books and reading books is so important as well.
I think that's why I enjoy mentoring others too, right? To help them find the things that I didn't know were out there. Networking, right? Meeting people like you, meeting great people. I went to meetups. I met Skip Bailey. We created a really great partnership, right? We coach people together at times. So you meet a lot of great people if you network too. And it's just amazing the amount of people you'll meet from all over the place.
Yes, absolutely. I think he liked that comment. And earlier he was commenting hand and mind connection. Yes. Mm-hmm. Thank you for coming on and for participating, playing full out, Skip and Paige and Demisha, all the smiley faces and stars. I love it. And there's loves coming. I see hearts. It's a wonderful love fest going on here on the Mind Body Business Show. I love it. So I love asking a question about, so we're talking about doing research, having mentors and those kind of things. This doesn't have to be business based, the answer. But I was curious if you were to go back in history, maybe it could be somebody who's still alive, or it could be somebody who's no longer alive. If you could talk to just one person, and just one person to talk to in history, who would that be and why?
I'm going to pick two. I know I'm breaking all the rules.
That's all right.
It's funny. We were watching TV last night and we were watching Highway to Heaven. And I'm like, wow, who wouldn't want to meet Landon, right? Michael Landon had just such a heart and a passion to help people. So for that, I would love that conversation, whether it was his reality or TV version. I don't care. I think he's amazing. But other than that, my dad passed away about 4 years ago. And you don't realize the intelligence and the amount a person has to offer you in life until sometimes they're gone. So while I enjoy making my own roadway and making my mistakes and learning from them, I also would love to pick his brain. He was a hard worker and he had integrity. He was just an overall very insightful person. I'm sure I could get a lot more from him than what I did.
And you know what? I'm certain that more of that rubbed off on you than you are even aware of, because you just described yourself as you were talking there. From my limited time of knowing you, it's like Yeah, the apple didn't fall far from the tree. Let's put it that way. Dad, you did a great job. Well done. Fantastic. Oh my goodness. So much great stuff. You have just come on the scene, breaking down barriers. You're doing things with reckless abandon, but not being reckless about it. You just go for it. That's one of the things I've noticed about you. You don't let grass grow under your feet. I mean, you're just jumping on it. You're an action taker. And that is one of those traits that I've found that more often than not, that is a trait of a successful person. And what does that mean to you if someone says, Lynda, I think you're an action taker? What do you internalize that to mean about you and how you approach business and life?
I believe being an action taker is what keeps me motivated. I know we talked about a positive mindset. By always looking for opportunity and having creativity is what keeps me motivated. Being an action taker to me means that I'm helping more people. It's funny how many people will say to me, what's your niche? Right? And I don't have one, and I won't create one. I have many, because if I limit myself to one niche, I'm limiting the amount of people I can help in the world.
Ooh, oh, you know what's coming. You know it's coming. Stand back. Oh, yes. There we go. Smart bombs, bombs of wisdom, bombs of knowledge by Lynda Bachman herself. That was bomb worthy for sure. My gosh. Love that. My gosh. And everything, as you can see and hear from Lynda, you being the audience, is that's what drives her, is helping other people. Obviously, she is not going to pick a niche because she wants to keep her net broad, be able to cast it and catch more fish, and help those fish after she catches them, to put them in cleaner water on a nicer place and not fillet them and cut them up and eat them. She's going to nurture them, feed them, and let them go about their way in a nice clean stream somewhere else. So I had to save myself on that analogy there. That was getting bad. So one of the attributes, as you heard in the opening of the show, was that around the subject or topic of body, which is all about taking care of oneself. And I was just curious, in your life, in your personal life, what kind of role has that played in your life? Being physically fit, being mindful of the amount of exercise you put in and what you put into your body itself. And how does that impacted you positively or negatively over your life and now during your bustling, incredible entrepreneurial career?
So being physically active is not just good for your health and your physical appearance. It's good for your mindset. So it keeps you focused. It keeps you driven. It keeps you disciplined, motivated. So I believe on all avenues that no matter what frame of mind you're in, if you get some type of physical activity, you're going to have a clearer mind and a better mindset. And the rest follows. The health, the physical appearance, all that follows, but your mindset's most important.
I could not agree more. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I was a former certified personal trainer. Yeah. Paige is giving advice. You can do that by expanding into successful niches. And believe me, Lynda knows all about that. She's been telling me during our talks, hey, you could break that down and do some smaller things on this and that. And I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds good. And so very, very astute for sure. My goodness. Yeah. So one great, I learned so much from just being the host of this show that I highly recommend anyone that has a business or starting a business, or doesn't matter where you are, is start your own show. It doesn't have to be a live show. It can be a podcast. Do it where you're interviewing amazing people like the one next to me here. And why is because I personally, I get the most out of this than anybody on the planet, because I get to meet amazing person after amazing person after amazing person, find out what works for them and give it a go myself. One individual that I had on my show made a comment that whenever he had an arduous task in front of him, a one that he just, oh man, this is going to take everything I got to get through it, he literally would choose a time to work out right before taking on that task. I thought, wow, that's genius, because it just jacks up your energy. It gets your endorphins flowing. You're in a better mood. As you astutely said, your mind is working and operating on all cylinders, and it just gets you going. I often work out right before this show. I often do that. It gets me going.
I woke up the other morning and I had nothing on my schedule till noon. And my boyfriend says, are you going paddleboarding today? And I was like, no. And then I was like, wait, why? He's right. I looked at my calendar. I'm like, yes, I am. So,
That's so funny. When was that?
2 days ago when the sun was shining.
Okay, mine was yesterday. Same thing. I didn't go paddleboarding, but I jumped. I got a new treadmill to do some cardio. So when the weather was getting bad, and then did some resistance training in my little home office gym here, and it felt so good because same thing. I had a free slot of time. I'm like, man, this is awesome. I think I'm going to go work out. This
energized your day, right?
It did. It just, my gosh, I didn't want to stop. I was still going at it like deep into the night. I like to shut down around 6-ish every night so that I can spend time with my wife and my son and just chill. Got to shut it down at some point. Well, this time I found myself in old habits going off till about 8:30, almost 9. I'm like, I better shut this thing up. But I was just feeling so good in the rhythm. It's just times like that when I love what I get to do and I just keep doing it. And until someone wakes my butt up and says, Brian, it's getting late. I just keep going. That happens a lot. I get these texts. Hey, dinner's ready. He's like, ooh, crap. I was supposed to help with that. What's going on? Fantastic. So you have achieved, like I said multiple times, a lot of success in a short period of time, in my humble opinion. And what would you say? I'm going to just say one thing. I'm just going to ask you one thing. What would you say is the one primary key that has gotten you to that level of success so quickly? Just one, so that folks that are just starting out can say, I just need to model what Lynda's about to say, and I can very likely achieve the same level of success she has if I just follow in her footsteps. So if you were to think of one thing, and I'm blabbering on to give you time to think of this on purpose, one thing that you would say is the key reason for your success, what would that be?
My daughter.
Pardon?
My daughter.
Your daughter. Oh, my. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So family.
Sure.
And what is that? So that translates into a topic we often call, or we discuss, and that is one's why. Why do we do what we do? What drives us? And that sounds like it's your daughter in your case. In mine, it's my wife. That there's nothing I will never stop trying to become more and more successful, because I would be letting down my wife, and I don't want to do that. I want to have the greatest life with her. And everyone has their own why. It may not be a person, it may be a cause outside of themselves, but it's usually outside of yourself. And so, it's I just saw a comment that was pretty funny. But that's why. So what is it about your daughter that keeps you driven and going forward?
Having gone through so much in life, even since she's been brought into the world, she has been my one constant, the one that's been there through everything. People come and go, your marriage comes and goes. You have death in the family, you have crisis, you have rock bottoms, right? She has been my constant, and me hers. So building a successful future and a successful life to pass on to her, when the time comes, is very important to me.
And I'm not going to ask you to get any details. I'll just kind of state to everyone that Lynda has been through more stuff than most people in a full lifetime would go through in a negative way. She's hit some severe roadblocks, speed bumps, setbacks, all the above. And it's impressive to me because anybody not as strong would just buckle and just go into the woe is me mode for the rest of their life and just say, wow, life dealt me a crappy hand. I guess that's where I'm supposed to go. You did the opposite. You pulled up your britches, you cinched the belt, and you said, I'm going to overcome. I'm going to step over all this pile of stuff, and I'm going to really crush it. And you've done that, and you're an inspiration. I just wanted others to know that, it hasn't been a perfect life for Lynda. It's not been a perfect life for Brian. It's not been a perfect life for anybody that you look and hold on a pedestal who has achieved success. But I wanted to let folks know that you, Lynda, have gone through more than most that I've ever met that have actually, let me know what it was. And kudos to you. And the other thing about that's so important for people to recognize, as being a coach, that makes you stronger, because you now have those life experiences to fall back on and take those and turn those into positives to tell people how to avoid those situations. Is that an accurate statement?
It is. I wrote my story to do some public speaking. And as I wrote it, that's when I discovered my strength card was my daughter. Every time I had to pull through, it was because I had her. So everyone has a strength card. You just have to find it. Maybe write your story, and that's how you'll find it. And that's when I also realized my purpose, right? To help other people overcome obstacles like I had to overcome.
And my gosh, you have overcome them big time. And now it's time to bring up. I like this. It caught me as a giggle. I don't know why it just came at a strange time, but so Demish said Michael Landon and I have the same birthday, which is
so
pretty
jealous of Demish. That's awesome.
It is. And yeah, I remember him from, what was it, Little House on the Prairie. That was his big
House on the Prairie too. He always played such an amazing, heartfelt role.
Yeah, and I think he was, like, from what I understood, he was a lot like that in real life as well. Just a genuine human being that was taken from us way too young.
Yeah.
Way too young. He should, my goodness, he could still be impacting lives today. Oh my goodness. So let's shift gears. I know you paddleboard, so that's off the table. You can't use that as your answer on this one. So it's, as entrepreneurs, we work. We need to hit the reset button, time out, whatever you want to call it, and have a little fun. And you have to. We need to. It's got to happen. Even though I'm always the one saying, yeah, but I love what I get to do. There's still, you need to have that distraction. That's the way I'll put it. So for you, what kind of hobbies do you engage in? What do you like to do in your non-work time other than paddleboarding that freshens your mind and keeps you going the following day?
I would say two things. Art. I love to paint and draw. My house, unfortunately, is covered with my artwork. I'm not all that I'm in love with, but it's hanging. But doing artwork, refinishing furniture, stuff like that clears my mind because I have to focus on the project. I have to focus on what I'm actually working on. So anything artistic is great for me. And I do enjoy writing books now more so than before. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hate painting.
Gosh, we have nothing in common, Brian. I need to leave. I don't even know you.
Yours is the art form. I'm thinking of painting houses and walls and stuff. I can't stand it. I'm having fun with you on that. I'm not a good painter. I tried it back in college, only because I was dating my then girlfriend, now wife, and she was into it. So I was like, I'm going to go with her. I'm going to go learn to paint. I'm going to follow my girl. And it was really cool because I learned a lot that I never would have learned had I not done it. Like mixing of the colors and all the stuff that goes with it. I was like, wow, it takes more than just having a good eye and knowing how to draw and stuff. It takes far more talent and my gosh, practice and God-given ability as well. And so I got this whole new appreciation for, I don't care if an artist is good or not. I don't judge them as harsh as I used to because I know how hard it is and how bad I am. But it's neat going to like a museum with my wife. I can actually look and see the brush strokes and then think about, wow, how did they know to blend in that color and what was their technique for how much color how do you figure this stuff out? And I'll watch people paint and they paint a whole canvas and then they start painting over everything they just painted. I'm like, what are you doing?
I do that.
You're like erasing what you just did. And it was the background, but it's just amazing. The artist's mind is so different than mine. So it's intriguing and I learn a lot from it. So I was just having fun with you. I do not like painting houses though, or rooms or anything. I can't stand it. I don't have the patience for the tape and the trimming, all that stuff that's meticulous. Give me the roller, I'll go all day.
I'll paint the canvas and the desk under it, to be honest with you. So I'm not good with the whole tape thing.
I love it. Well, next time I'm going to be calling you up and we'll have you come across from the East Coast and we'll put you to work over here. Sure. We'll have some fun. Art and writing books. That yeah, I could see that one. So is it okay to mention you have a book coming out that you're working with several people?
I do. Yes. And especially, and it does include yours truly, who I'm speaking with. So this is going to be an amazing book. It's getting a lot of really good kudos behind it. It's a personal A to Z life coach reference book. And it's written by coaches, world-class coaches, I think, across the country. So it'll cover a lot of different areas.
And I like how you've coined it as a reference book. And as we were talking earlier, that not everybody's going to read every chapter. They're going to read the one that is of most interest to them at that point in time. And I thought, wow, that's cool, because just by saying that, it kind of takes the pressure off the reader to say, look, you don't have to read the whole thing. Just read what you want to read, because they're put in certain sections on purpose so you can find the one that best fits you. So I thought that's pretty genius right there. And I wanted to say thank you for inviting me to collaborate with you on that and to provide a couple chapters in there, because it got my juices going again. I went back to a book I've been writing for too long, not actively. I will be the first to admit. It's about 90% done. It has been for probably 3 years. And it was a joy to go back and read what I'd written, not because I'm all about myself at all. It was just a joy to see what had been written and then how to add a little bit and make it fit more of a collaborative work than just a piece out of my book. And I appreciate that you got me going on that. It got my juices going. Like, man, this is actually kind of fun. I'm enjoying this. You know, I'm thinking, I don't have time for this. My old self is saying, no, you don't have time for this. Do something else. Focus. And I'm like, you know what? No way. Lynda's awesome, and I want to help her. So, and thank you.
It's great. It's great to see the perspectives from so many different coaches and different backgrounds and different, so the readers are going to get such a wide variety of opinions and coaching, and they're also going to get the contact information to reach out to those coaches.
Yeah. So it achieves a lot of things in one book, and it's going to be awesome. Do you have a proposed published date? I mean, is that even in the?
I'm hoping within the month it's going to be on Amazon.
Wow, that's fast. I can't wait to help promote, not just for myself, but I wanted to help with get your name out there as well. And that is one of the purposes of this show, so folks understand, is when I find a gem like Lynda, I say, I want you on my show so I can help get you more exposure for you and your business, because I've noticed that only people that have that servant attitude are the ones that are attracted to this, coming onto this show. And I'm glad for that, because you are that kind of person. You'll help anybody. And look, for those of you that need help, be respectful of her time. If she's offering her time, just know that, you know what, if you actually put skin in the game, if you pay for her services, you will get more out of your time with her than if you didn't. It's just a proven fact. If you have skin in the game, if you've got an investment, how many times have you received something, I'm talking to the audience, that you've gotten something for free? How many times have you received something of great, immense value, but you were given it, and then you took it home and it went up on your shelf? And instead of becoming self-help, it became shelf help, and you never opened it. Because why? You didn't value it because you had no skin in the game. And so I would implore of you, not just of Lynda, but of anyone you go to for a mentor, be ready to pay, and be ready to pay more than you're comfortable in paying, because when you do that, you get that much more out of it. You will see the results faster and in greater magnitude. Is that anything you're realizing, Lynda, as you go through your business?
It is so funny you said that. I come across people periodically that are really in bad shape, have nothing, can't pay for anything. And of course, I give my time to them and I tell them, okay, I'm going to help you. But in turn, you have to put the work in, right? They'll talk to me 2-3 times and I'll ask them the same question. Did you do? They just want to talk and they're not putting the work in. And I'll be like, okay, let's write down all the things we talked about. Now put a check mark by all the ones you did, and none of them. I'll give them 2 or 3 shots. But then I'm like, listen, I'm not wasting your time or mine. When you're ready, give me a call. But I do find when people put the money out, and even with my programs, people usually will pay me in advance because it puts the skin in the game as opposed to paying me weekly, right? When people pay for something, they follow through. When people want something bad enough, they're going to make the change. And 100% true. When you give somebody something for free, they have no skin.
They have no skin in the game.
None.
Yeah.
Absolutely none.
I love it.
No skin, no hair, nothing.
That's awesome. They have no bones. They're just nothing. Yeah, I found that to be true in my own life. And then as someone who offers services myself, it's a different way of thinking. If you haven't gotten comfortable with that yet, I'm talking not about you, Lynda, but those that are watching and listening, about charging not what you're worth, but what's greater than what you're worth by far. Because we often undervalue what we know and what we bring to the table as coaches, as service providers, etc. It's good to overcharge what you think is an overcharge, because that person will get more out of it. It's about them getting more out of it, not necessarily you making more money, which makes it a win-win because you do make more money. And one thing I like to say is, if you have a big ticket item, is always go for a good, healthy deposit up front, and then sprinkle out the remaining payments over the months. That way they have the skin in the game up front, and there's a commitment, and they know that monthly they need to still keep going, and they will just do everything that is asked of them. And that's the only reason that you want them to do that, is because you want them to get the results they came for. That's what it's all about. It's results.
Yeah. If I don't get results, I do not feel good. I do not feel good at all. And if somebody comes to me and they want to cry or vent, right? Maybe they're not in the right place or the right mindset to make a change. I won't waste their time or their money. You can't. You have to be ready.
Exactly. And that's another great point. Yeah, that they need to be ready to be coached. They need to be willing and open for it, and take the feedback. That's not always going to be what they want to hear. If they're coming to get, stroked by like a pet, and you're petting them and saying, "Oh, it's okay, everything's going to be fine," then, Lynda or I are the wrong person for you to come see. You need to get
I'm a little motherly, I have to say, but I also am. I do play the coaching, supporting, and accountability card.
Yeah, and you have to, if your whole purpose is to get them results, those moments have to come where corrections must be made, or they wouldn't be coming to you to begin with. They need corrections made. And yeah, I'm not saying you would do it with like a ruler, like back in the day.
I sometimes do. I sometimes can be harsh. Maybe I didn't paddle that day, or I'm having a rough day. I could be a little bit tougher. No, but I ultimately, if you're making an investment in yourself, you need to get results.
Yeah. And it's your job and our job to get your clients to do the most that they need to do to get the results that you're coaching them into. Because a lot of people think, "Oh, I'm just going to pay the money and I'll just get to sit back and the magic pixie dust is going to sprinkle and I'm going to be better." It's like, no, we're going to show you how you need to work to get it.
Give you the tools.
Yes. We'll guide you, but you're going to put in the work. And like, wait, what? I have to work? I have to pay you to work? It's like, yeah, I'm just going to show you how to do it the right way so you get the results, which you keep working all this time. How's that been working for you without guidance and help and assistance? So yes. Let's see. Demisha asked a question. So what's Lynda's process for her work? I don't know if that is enough to go by. Do you have anything that comes up as a result of that one, Lynda, or do you need a little more clarification?
It's a little vague. If she's a little more specific, I can probably help. I do my clients with programs to get the best results, kind of like your Grant Cardone book, the 10-time rule, right? It takes time to make change. It takes time to change your habits to become a new norm. So I usually work with a 90-day program to start.
Fantastic. And if you have any further detail on that, Demisha, by all means, go ahead and drop that in the comments. I know we're on a bit of a delay with this live thing, so we'll give that a little bit of time. Speaking of time, holy smokes, Lynda, it did it again. We're at the end already. We are here.
I think the other day we had an appointment, and it was like 3 hours later we were still talking. So it
was. Yeah, I don't remember if that was a half hour or a 1 hour scheduled call, but it went, and it didn't matter to me. All right, so we got some pages saying, "I have connections I can make and some recorded content. A baseline business value audit would be helpful." Huh. Yeah. We were just talking about that a little bit in the terms of basically tracking your numbers and being sure that you're on track to hit your goals. Yeah, an audit would be, and not just the numbers, but the processes and everything that goes through. I think that's smart page to put that out there to say that you're looking to have that. Or you might be saying you do that. I don't know. I didn't catch that, but fantastic. Appreciate that. We do have a prize to give away still. We actually have two. A little birdie told me this person that's on the show has something to offer you as well. So before we do that, though, I like to end every show, Lynda, with one pretty cool question. It's a very profound question. I I started asking it randomly on occasion of guests in the early days of this show. We're going, I don't know, 3+ years now, every week. And I started recognizing that the answers to that same question were very profound. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. So I began asking that question at the end of every show with every guest. And it's really cool. So you talk about a collaborative book. I'll tell you about that after the question. It's pretty cool what's going to happen. But it's a powerful question. It's a profound question. Before we do that, though, I did promise a giveaway. So we'll talk about the vacation giveaway. And then Lynda has something to offer all of you. And I'll let her bring up what that's about and give you the details on that. But first, I'm going to put on the screen for all of you that have hung with us. Congratulations to you. Pat yourself on the back. To win, I'm going to put it up on the screen, the 5-night stay, vacation stay at a 5-star luxury resort, compliments of the Big Insider Secrets. Write this down. You don't need to go here right now. We will keep this raffle, whatever you want to call it, giveaway open for about an hour or two after the show is over. So don't worry, there's no rush. It's a random draw. Go to ryp.im/vacation. That's ryp-im/vacation, all lowercase. Write that down for those of you watching and listening live. And then we have another wonderful, amazing giveaway coming up. It's going to be a surprise in more ways than one. And it is a free coaching session or a free business consultation and key performance evaluation valued at $200. Is that the correct one?
Yes, that is. Thank you.
I saw your message. I almost lost it. I was going to laugh pretty good. That was great.
I sort of hyperventilating for a minute, but don't worry.
So go ahead and explain that, and then how can people reach out to you to get that free coaching session?
Totally. So anyone who wants a coaching session on anything, whether it's your life, your business, your relationship, any of the above, all of the above, doesn't matter. Just reach out to me. We'll set that up and I'll take care of it. It's totally on the house. And then what was the other one? Oh, key performance evaluation. That's if you have a business, right? We can evaluate where your business is at, whether you're reaching your goals, what you need to do to get to the goals. Either way, we'll work it out.
That sounds perfect for Miss Paige Spears, because she said to follow on what she was saying, she said to determine the value of her content and experience, and you could help her with that. That's phenomenal. So how would they go about reaching out to you for that wonderful gift of a free coaching session?
A couple of ways. If they call me directly, the number is 732-509-6747. They can go onto my website and book an appointment through there. There's a Calendly link, and that would be www.OneLifeCoaching, all spelled out, the number 4 and the letter U.com. And then there's my email, which is my first name, .onelifecoaching@gmail.com.
Goodness sakes, I didn't have any of those loaded up and ready to go. But I do have one now.
Wow.
Check it out. Uh-oh. There it is.
Okay.
And Skip somehow jumped on it. So yeah, there it is. My gosh, I keep hitting the wrong thing. I see what's going on. So let me clear that off the screen so you can see the whole website real quick. And fantastic.
There's also some fun assessments on there if you scroll down, Brian.
You got it.
People can take those if they want. There's nothing to do with me. They can log in and take them. Yeah, right there you go.
There we go. So I'm going to blow that up a little bit so folks can see it. So yeah, you want to go to OneLifeCoaching4u.com, and that's well, I think I have the website ready to put up on the screen. There it is. OneLifeCoaching, the number 4, the letter U.com. Oh, and by the way, one is the word one, so it's ONE. Then Life Coaching, the number 4, the letter U.com, and that is where you can go to get your free online assessments. There are different ones. There's a Wheel of Life, a relationship assessment, and an overall business assessment. And in addition to that, you can use the information on this site to contact Lynda for her amazing gift. So how long are you going to keep this gift going? Because you don't want to let it go forever and never have a paying client the rest of your life. So
True. Although
how
I
long do
don't
you want to
know. I'm happy with it either way, I think. No, I would say, why don't we say for this month, if they reference your show and they call me, they'll get a free session.
Okay. And this month, so for those that are listening on podcast later or recorded video, is March. Yes, of 2022. We'll put that in there too, because they could be watching this a year from now. Or yeah. So fantastic. So there you see the phone number. Everything is there. Is there a contact us on here?
You're better off just calling me.
There you go. You heard it. Just call her. That's the easiest way. That's another thing I love about you is you're one of those hands-on connect people where you're not afraid to say, just call me. Let's talk. Let's go old school, which is really becoming the old new school or the new old school. I don't know which way to say it, but yeah, it's definitely another great attribute. And look, there's a little chat bubble down here that you can also connect with her that way as well. And I'm saying this for those of you who are watching live on video. For podcasts, just be sure to go to OneLifeCoaching4u.com. And what I just referenced is all the way at the bottom, one of those little chat bubbles. You can click on that. Wow, fantastic. So we're not done yet. Prizes galore, gifts, amazing life-changing information. And then there's going to be, at the end, as promised, weird stuff happening on the screen. That's what we're promising. Weird stuff happening on the screen. No, we promised to end the show with a very compelling, powerful question of Lynda. So I hope everybody's ready, including Lynda. Ooh, I love it. So here's the thing, Lynda. There's two great things about this question. Number one is what I found is there is no such thing as a wrong answer. It cannot be answered incorrectly. In fact, just the opposite of true, this is the second part, is that your answer is the only correct answer. And the reason is because it's unique to you. And that's what makes it personal. That's it. No big deal. So some people answer it right away, like, bam, they have it. Others take some time and ponder. Even that is 100% correct because it is your answer.
Right now on meditation. I'm feeling very stressed.
Oh, no. Yeah, just relax. As you watch the screen and you think those thoughts, you realize you are relaxed now. That's my hypnosis going into that. But anyway, you will do fine. And it's going to be great because it's yours and it's authentic as you always are. So with all of that, Lynda Bachman, are you ready?
I'm about as ready as I can be.
All right, here we go. Lynda Bachman, how do you define success?
Oh, this is such pressure. Success is the willpower, the passion to do what you love, the willpower to work hard, integrity. You determination, drive. That's success. Success is having something that you can envision and you see it so big that it inspires you.
You know what's coming. You know what's coming. Here it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Lynda Bachman. She is amazing. She is incredible. I am so fortunate and blessed to know her. Again, we've been having discussions a lot more frequently lately, and I'm really happy about that because you're just a gem. I don't know how else to say it. You're amazing. You're wonderful to talk to. Always upbeat, and having gone through what you've gone through, and you're a very astute, and you're a go-getter, businesswoman. And I know I will learn a lot from you as well. I learn something from everybody, whether they're my senior in age or they're my junior by so much that they could be my son by age. It doesn't matter to me. I can always learn from people. And I know that's how you're wired too, Lynda, because that's how you've gotten to where you are so quickly. You've learned so much from so many people. And it's one thing just to learn it, but it's another thing to put it into action, which is Lynda's middle name. Lynda Action Bachman. That's awesome. All right. Well, that is the end of our show, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate everyone for coming on. Don't forget to enter that vacation draw. And also don't forget to reach out to Lynda at OneLifeCoaching4u.com. Is there any other way you can think of you'd like people to connect with you other than the forms you've given so far?
Nope, I'm good. My phone is always with me. Call me. I'll answer.
She is at 732-509-6747. Lynda, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you. You've been an amazing, amazing guest. I knew you would be. I knew it. Just rocked it, knocked it out of the park. On behalf of this amazing, amazing woman, I am your host, Brian Kelly of the Mind Body Business Show. That's it for this episode. We will see you again next week. Until then, just keep crushing it, everyone, and be blessed. So long for now. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Mind Body Business Show podcast at www.themindbodybusinessshow.com. My name is Brian Kelly.